When the sun rises, I wake up and chase my dreams. I won't regret when the sun sets, 'cause I live my life like I'm a beast. I'm a motherfucking 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 beast. When the sun rises, I wake up and chase my dreams. I won't regret when the sun sets, 'cause I live my life like I'm a beast. I control my breath, keep my body ready, focus on the finish, and keep my head steady, breathe in.
What would you say, all right, so we touched on the low carbs topic. What would you say, paleo diet versus a low fat diet? You know, there's lots of diets out there, and low fat is probably like the more general US, DA recommended fat.
Yes.
If I'm wrong, I think the USDA diet is 50% carbohydrates, right?
Yeah, 50-60%.
50-60% carbohydrates, 20 to 30% protein.
Yeah.
And like 20 to 10% fat, right?
Yeah, that's typically what it is.
Go ahead and touch on that subject a little bit about low fat diet versus the paleo diet.
Okay, so low fat, you're going to be buying more processed foods because they have to process it further to get the fat out. So you have low fat milk, which has been processed and strained and pasteurized, ultra pasteurized. And then you have like your low fat cheeses, which cheese typically is a more low fat to begin with, just because the processing kind of gets rid of the fat.
Man, I think cheese is like one of the most processed foods there is.
Oh yeah, but it's also one of the more natural foods.
It's so fucking good though.
Oh yeah, I love cheese, bro. And then you're gonna get into stuff like your low-fat dressings,
okay,
where they pull. Whereas a dressing should be olive oil and a vinegar, salt, and pepper. That is the easiest dressing you could ever make, and it's actually healthy for you because that olive oil is a healthy fat. It's gonna go into your body, and it's gonna go to places where it's needed, as fat around your organs and fat in your joints,
in your tissues.
You
have a lot of fatty tissue
and then it helps. Good fat actually helps your cognitive function. If you look at somebody who's gone low fat for a long time, they're actually getting dumber.
Oh yeah.
Because their brain isn't able to fire all those neuroreceptors as cleanly if they were taking good fats.
Definitely, man. I agree. I think one thing too about fats, fats have a huge influence on your hormone.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're a male, the fats, can determine, the amount of testosterone your body is actually, creating. And when you're a young male, you probably don't have that much of an issue because,
your body's just naturally making all that stinking testosterone.
You're a testosterone beast, man.
Oh yeah.
You're like 20 to 25, 25 to maybe 28. But usually, the older males, maybe a little bit over 30, 33, so you just start to feel your testosterone drop. And if you're on a low-fat diet, then that production can actually drop even lower. So,
and it goes that way with females too. You need those fats.
Fat, they regulate hormones. They're hormone regulators.
So when a woman goes on her cycle, her hormones are, you can tell if she's on a low-fat diet. Because she's just going to be pissed, then she's good, and then she's pissed, then she's good.
You women that are, I'm not going to say it, but when it's that time, be sure you eat some fats, because Mr. Kendal said it. Okay? I think the biggest difference between a paleo diet and a low-fat diet is that the paleo diet, you eat a lot of fats. I'm talking 30, up to 40%.
Oh yeah, and that's where I'm at.
Because if you eat, 30 to 40% meat, you're gonna get a lot of natural fats from that meat.
Yeah.
And then you're also gonna be eating nuts on the side, your oils, your coconut oils, your olive oils.
Yep. And I put coconut oil and butter, and don't get regular butter.
Get the real butter.
It's got to be real grass-fed and unsalted.
Yeah. So we're talking like natural organic stuff,
Yes.
right?
And that's what I use. I put it on just thinking everything. There's a tablespoon there, a tablespoon here.
I think this low fat frenzy that the government kind of showed everybody.
Yeah,
The
people are
government
afraid of fat.
put the fear of fat into people. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
And yet there's fat people fucking everywhere. But
And see, that's the thing, is when you don't get enough fat, your body stays inflamed.
yeah,
Whereas good,
omega-3s, man,
exactly,
anti-inflammatories.
anti-inflammatories. And so when you're inflamed, you can't lose body fat. You can't lose weight because your body has a high cortisol level. When your cortisol levels are elevated, your body stores fat.
Yes, definitely.
And so,
Especially if you're stressed.
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
stressed, your cortisol levels go up. So
and so
you guys need to stay relaxed.
most people in the United States are stressed for one reason or another. And so if you're doing low fat and you're stressed, you're just gonna stick body fat everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. You know, I feel. You know, to be honest, I was kind of stressed yesterday. Like for some reason, I don't know why I was stressed out, but the whole day I was
It happens.
stressed. And you know, you can definitely see a difference in the morning. I was like, damn, I'm kind of inflamed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And that's one thing that I've noticed is being on a paleo diet, you tend to be more in sync with your body.
You can tell someone.
Oh yeah. You're like, oh, I haven't had enough carbs today.
If you follow a paleo diet and you train, like let's say you had a badass, good ass lunch, you've been following a paleo diet for about a week, you have all your nutrients, where they need to be, and you train, you can hit that training session so hard. But the minute that you go, like for me, I noticed that if I go out like on Thursday night or Friday night, and I go out to eat, it's once a week, go out to eat, enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
It's called balance, guys.
Exactly.
Okay?
Balance.
You go out and eat what you want, and the next day in your training session, you don't feel as good.
No,
don't
you
feel
hit that same training session you hit a month ago, and you didn't improve or you got worse.
Yeah.
And so how you eat and how you sleep determines how well you perform.
Dude, I agree 100%. This is not just for CrossFitters too. This is for bodybuilders, powerlifters, anybody doing any physical activity. Sports related. The way you eat and the amount of time you sleep has a direct impact on your performance in the gym, on the field, on the track,
And then in everyday life.
In everyday life,
just being a human being.
Yeah, and then whenever you eat a healthy diet, you feel good.
Yes.
So what happens when you feel good? Your cortisol levels go down.
Exactly.
Okay, your cortisol levels are down, so you don't store as much fat.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to get in tune with your body. But okay, so what are some recommended supplements that you would recommend for not just a CrossFitter, but your everyday athlete, someone that's interested in putting on muscle, maintaining a lower body fat percentage, etc.
Well, I would say you need to start with your micronutrients, and that would be a multivitamin and then a fish oil. You get your good omega-3s in you to help with that inflammation, because when you train, you become inflamed.
Okay.
And so you get that inflammation down, you can train just as hard as you did the day before. Another thing that I would say is you need to be taking BCAAs.
Okay.
BCAAs are the building blocks of muscle. So whenever you take a BCAA, it tells your body, okay, I need to build muscle. Those amino acids are like, all right, it's time to build muscle. It's time to do it again. It's time to repair.
Recovery.
And so, yeah.
The main thing I use BCA for is like recovery.
Yeah.
Because recoveries will help build that muscle back together.
Yeah.
Because when you work out, you have a bunch of micro tears in your muscle. That's what gives you the sore feeling.
And then that lactic acid buildup also.
Yeah. Definitely those BCAAs. So multivitamin, omega-3 fish oil.
Yeah.
So BCAAs are you recommended? First.
Yes, those would be my first three.
What about? Let's talk about the biggest supplement on the market right now, protein.
Protein?
So, for someone following a paleo diet, would you say they should, because see, paleo is all about being natural.
Yeah.
So, what happens when it comes to protein powder that's been manufactured and processed?
You actually, a good protein powder, you're going to look at an isolate.
Okay.
So, your isolate proteins.
Isolate being 90% protein by weight.
Yeah, and so that is probably going to be your best route as far as getting a good protein in. It's going to be the least intrusive into your paleo diet, is what I would say. I know Progenics has a really good protein. Advocare has a good protein. They have a good post-workout recovery also. And then you really can't go wrong with, Optimum Nutrition. And then
Optimum just a lot of fillers in it, man.
Yeah,
They're global, bro.
Yeah, you're true. That is true.
So you're probably, I know they do make paleo based protein powders.
Yeah. What was that one? Atomic.
Atomic is badass.
Yeah. That's actually a paleo protein.
It says paleo on it. Yeah. So you guys, when it comes to protein powder, be sure you know what you're putting in your body, because there's some supplement companies out there that they put a lot of artificial flavors and fillers in their protein powder just to have a greater volume of supplement.
You really want to look and see what your protein percentage is.
Yeah, so that's why
you want to shoot for anything over 90%.
Yeah, so that's why whey isolate, it's roughly about 90% of protein by weight. So it's very, very little additives and fillers. The other 10% could be added BCAAs or amino acids.
Yeah.
And flavoring as well.
Yeah. And you want to stick with something that has natural flavors.
Yeah.
You want to try to stay away from as much artificial flavor as you possibly can.